Greetings everyone. So the other video I made about the dealer, getting a payment agreement from your dealer when you order a car, or even if you decide to buy a car, just get some type of paperwork in writing to prove that they're not going to change the price when it's time for you to pick up the vehicle. Well, today I stumbled on two articles where dealers are starting to be fined and penalized for the things that they're doing. Malpractice. That's all they're doing is malpractice, because the stuff you're doing is not right. And some of these things you cannot get out of because they claim it's part of the sales. But everything should be an option. Even if you want floor mats. I mean, I've seen dealers put wheel locks on cars, and people don't even live in an era where tires are being stolen. I mean, let the wheel lock be an option. And if I want a wheel lock, let me get it myself. Anyway, let's get into the article. So the first article started off with two Arizona Nissan dealers fined $500,000 for false advertising and forcing customers to pay for add-ons. You see what I'm talking about? This is what I'm talking about. They force you to buy this stuff. That means they toss in the floor mats and said it is part of the sale. You should have the option if you want floor mats or not. I mean, they try to charge for every little thing. Stuff that you didn't ask for. Paint protection, pinstripe, all kind of different weird stuff. I mean, they just toss it in. And I've seen it on the, the manufacturer sticker that they put on the car, but that stuff was added on by the dealership. It didn't came from the manufacturer, from the factory like that. So I'm glad to see there's crackdown going on in the industry, because we can't do anything about it. This has to come from a higher power. And a lot of the car manufacturers are not doing anything about it. They just let the dealer have free reign. And we're the one getting the short end of the stick here, because the dealer's getting off, the manufacturers don't care, and we're just getting ripped off because we cannot recoup that money. I know I've said that several times in my videos, but I gotta stress it out because that's what's happening. Our bank accounts are being drained by these dealers, and they're the only one benefiting from this whole deal because you're not getting anything out of it. You just add in extra money to a vehicle that you're not going to get anything out of. So these two Nissan dealers are being pursued by the Attorney General office. The case against the dealership allegedly that they would advertise the vehicle at an attractive price, then force the customers to add features that raise the price of the vehicle. The customer were told they had to buy certain accessory like nitrogen in the tires, exterior paint coating, door cups, and window tinting. So you see what I'm talking about. These are the stuff that the dealers are adding on that you didn't ask for. Now, if there's an option to choose these things and the person would want it, at least give them that option. But we're not getting any option. The dealers are just tossing these things in here, and we're getting robbed, big time robbed. Although this might sound disappointingly like the experience of many car shoppers, the consent judgment found that when the customer tried to purchase these vehicles without the additions, the dealer would refuse to sell it to them. Yeah, so that's what's going on. If you decide you don't want this stuff, then they'll just say, well, we're not going to sell you the car, and they'll try to find somebody else. Now, there's somebody out there desperate enough to pay that price for the vehicle that's overpriced. And that's why we as a consumer need to stop falling for that, because once they know they can get away with it, they're going to keep on doing it. But the ones that walk away from the deal are the smart ones, because they know they're not getting robbed. I mean, paying for accessories that you don't need or don't want shouldn't be forced upon you. So I was happy to read this article because it needs to stop. It needs to stop. Imagine going and buying a TV, and then you go in there and say, look, I want this 65-inch TV. And then the store that you're buying the TV from telling you you have to buy a TV stand, or you have to buy a TV wall mount, and you have to buy the surge protector, and you have to buy the extended warranty. You have to buy all that stuff in order for you to walk out with the TV. And if you don't, we're not going to sell you the TV. Everything that you buy beyond the TV should be an option buy, not force buy. But these dealers have no conscience, as far as I'm concerned. No conscience, because you're forcing me to buy something that I don't want. I don't want this stuff. I just want the car. I don't need your floor mats. I don't need your door guard, paint protection. I am fine. I just want the car. Let me add whatever I want to it whenever that time comes. So one of the Nissan dealer will have to pay $305,000. That's Pinnacle Nissan. in restitution to customers and $50,000 in penalties. And ABC Nissan will have to pay $100,000 to consumers and $25,000 in civil penalties and another $25,000 in costs and attorney fees. So yeah, they need to pay because we've been paying them and trying to get a vehicle that we would like, and this is what they do to us. This is ridiculous. So I'm glad to see this crackdown. I'm so happy to read this article, and hopefully this sent a message to all those other dealers that's trying to do this stuff. I'm glad it's getting out in the news so they can wake up and stop doing the stuff they're doing. Even if you don't live in Arizona, this needs to have a ripple effect across the board. Another article I found has to do with one in Illinois. So one Illinois dealer group must pay $10 million for adding illegal fees and services to customers' contract. So according to the article, dealer fees are easily a way of scamming customers out of their money. Sales contracts are often long and most people don't actually read everything. And I have to agree with that. You know, a lot of times you go in and you want to buy this car and there's so much paperwork and it's like mentally exhausting trying to read all that stuff. But they know they can slip it in there because they try to. But somehow we got to try to at least read everything. You know what I mean? But like I said, I understand. It's human nature. We go in there, we sign, we're ready to go. We just want the keys and get out of here. I mean, we already been at the dealership probably for hours trying to get approved or whatever the case may be. But I get it. But still, a dealership should not take advantage of the consumer knowing that they're already mentally tired. So CBS News reports that a dealer group based out of Illinois will have to pay $10 million to settle the case that allegedly charging customer junk fees. So the culprit is Napleton Automotive Group. A survey cited in the complaint showed that 83% of buyers from the dealership were charged junk fee for add-ons without authorization or as a result of deception. One consumer cited in the complaint report that the dealership located in Arlington Heights, Illinois, charged him for nearly $4,000 in add-on fees after he paid a similar amount in down payment. The complaint also alleges that the Napleton dealership discriminate against black customers in connection with financing the vehicle purchases. Napleton employees had a wide latitude to increase the cost of customers' loan by increasing the amount paid in interest or adding add-ons to the final contract. According to the complaint, black customers at the dealerships were charged approximately $190 more in interest and paid $99 more for similar add-ons than a similarly suited non-Latin white customers. Napleton has now agreed to settle the suit for $10 million. While the group has denied everything, it claims it settled to avoid disruption of ongoing dispute. The FTC says $9.9 million of that money will go directly to the consumer for relief. So the Napleton Automotive Group is trying to deny all of this, the discrimination, the fees, all that stuff, and they decided to just settle because they don't want the hassle. Now, why would you settle if it's not true? This is something you would fight because you know it's not true. Nobody agrees to doing wrongdoing if they're not doing wrongdoing. So agreeing to the settlement is accepting that you're doing wrong, which is a shame. But this is how the things are, and we're just trying to buy stuff. But I don't know why they do this to consumers. This is what they are doing. And this is just these dealerships that I ran into these articles. But it's happening everywhere. It's happening in my neck of the woods. I've seen it. But we're the consumers buying these vehicles, because if we don't buy them, they're going to sit on the lot. And it shouldn't matter if you're black, white, or whatever. If we come in there with money and we're willing to spend and we got good credit or bad credit, it doesn't matter. If we're willing to put down the money and we're qualified to buy the item, then let us buy the vehicle. Don't discriminate because we have a certain skin tone, and don't try to mark us up. Let us choose the floor mats, the wheel locks, the paint protection, or whatever you have to offer. Put that down on the option table and let we pick and choose. Don't force it on us. So I'm glad to see these articles. Let the dealership start paying for their wrongdoing. And like I said, I'm hoping for a ripple effect, because as we go electric, and we already see what's going on with the electric cars already, a lot of prices are going up. Some by the manufacturer, but mostly by the dealerships. So this need to have a ripple effect so we can stop those practices, because we're already spending $50,000-$60,000 on a vehicle. I don't want to be marked up to a $80,000 or $90,000 vehicle. I just want to spend the amount plus the tax tag and all that stuff that the manufacturer tagged the vehicle for when they made it. I hope these dealers continue getting cracked down by the FTC or Attorney General or just some attorney somehow, class action, whatever the case may be, so we can get a fair price, because they still gonna make money either way and everybody be happy. Have a good one. See you next time.